Handling objections can be tricky, but it shouldn't be that way. In this video, which is an extract on a course which I'm doing on how to sell high-ticket design clients, I'm going to give you an overview of what are objections, how to overcome them, and especially we're going to talk about the most common objections which I personally received many times over the past 8 years as I've been a UI UX designer. So by the end of the video, you're going to have a clear understanding of what is an objection and how you can overcome the most common ones and also other ones. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So let's discuss sales objections, because these are going to be things that you're going to deal with pretty much every sales call, and they shouldn't be something that is seen as a negative thing, nor something that you have to aggressively reverse. It's just a normal part of the sales process, and pretty much every single sales call which you're going to have is going to have some client pushback, and that is totally normal, because if you actually end the call and you don't have any objection, that might be a red flag, because objections are simply questions and things that you need to clarify in the client's mind in order to get the sale. So they're actually a good thing. Now, why do you receive an objection in the first place? Now, as we discussed, every prospect you speak to have some sales objections or reasons why they're hesitant to buy your design services. Now, why are sales objections unavoidable? It's simple, because if the buyer didn't have reservations about your solution's price, value, relevance to their situation, or their purchasing ability, they would have already bought it. Now let's discuss some of the most common objections, and these are objections which are common in almost every sales situation, but specifically when it comes to selling design projects or trying to get a specific design job or situation happen. So let's start with the very first one, which is I need to think about it. You will probably hear it all the time when the client ends the call with I need to think about it. And sometimes this is a genuine thing, meaning that they really need to just think through, maybe like set up some things, but they're positive about your design offering. However, in some cases it isn't. And one of the things that I like to say when it comes to when I hear this question is something around the lines of Mr. Prospect, I've been doing this for a long time, and sometimes when I hear that a person needs to think about what we just discussed, it means that they feel uncomfortable about something that we discussed. Is this the case, or what we discussed so far all sounds good? And this is basically going to open them up and, well, first of all, rationally think about what might be the area of the concern. And then the second thing that it does is it actually brings that area of concern to the table. So it's not something that they have hidden in their self, but it's actually something that they're going to eventually discuss with you. And then at that point, you can actually see if it's a problem that you can solve, if it's a valid concern. And basically you can use this as leverage to bring the power on your table and have all the information needed in order to close that sale. Now the second one is a very common one, which is the price is too high. And you're going to hear these objections in multiple of different ways. And again, guys, the main focus when it comes to all of these objections and the relative replies is not to say the sentence exactly how it is. You just want to understand the basic idea, the basic concern, and the basic concept, and then you can apply it as you go. And it's going to be slightly different in each and every sales call. So again, don't memorize any of these lines. Some of these might be also formulated in a better way. But even if you say the line in not the perfect way, it's not going to break the sale. It's not going to make this whole system not work. It's all about understanding the basic concept and then applying it. So after this brief parenthesis, let's go back to the objection of the price is too high. Now, there's actually multiple ways you can reply to this objection, but mainly what happened here is that you didn't convey the value as well as you could for their specific situation. So it's totally fine. You can actually work around this. And one of the scenarios that I like to work with in order to revalue my service in their mind is essentially saying something around this line. So basically I'm going back on their initial goal, which they described in the initial part of the sales goal, and I try to anchor my pricing according to that specific goal. So for example, if they want to 3x the conversions on their website and they're currently making $10,000 a month, and my fee for a website redesign is $5,000, I would actually make it clear that that fee is just 1/6 of what 1 month of the result you provide will achieve. So basically, if you divide it by 12 months, and that's essentially a year, the investment will seem even smaller for them. So it will be a no-brainer in their mind to actually pay $5,000 in order to have such a big boost if you can actually get that result. So you see how it's all a lot of contrast. So in order to visualize this concept, because I don't want to add too much math, I want to add more visualization to really consolidate this concept in your mind, is that you always want to make it clear that your offer, the price that they're paying, is so small compared to what you will get in their end goal. And it's all about the end goal. Again, guys, it's all about selling the final solution and not the individual service. So think benefits and not features. And this is key in order to really make it a no-brainer for them to pay the appropriate price. So another way you can actually go after this question and solve this issue is basically saying something around this line. Is this a problem due to the price or the value? And this is really going to make the client think, and usually it's the value again, because you didn't anchor the value strongly enough in their mind. So basically they're going to give you an answer, and then what you want to do is, based on the specific situation, you want to reinforce your services value proposition. So talk about maybe like past positive success on how similar projects ended up well and achieved the client's goals, or maybe give them some factual information or other ways to essentially positively reframe the value in their mind. So again, guys, it's all about this concept. It's a very simple concept, and basically you want to take each and every sales scenario and organize it in a way by which by the end it's a no-brainer for them to sign up and get the ball rolling with you. So another very common objection is, do you offer a guarantee? And what I usually reply when it comes to the specific sales objection is exactly what kind of guarantee are you looking for, because there's different types of guarantees, and you really want them to think through what is the initial reason why they asked that question. So they were going to give you a response, and then basically you want to bring it from there, reply to their response in the most appropriate way. And then I would say something around the lines when I get this guarantee objection, which is on top of that, I guarantee that it's also in my best interest to make your project a success for two simple reasons. The first one is that if the project is a success, I might showcase it in my portfolio to attract other great clients, and that alone is very valuable and motivates me to go the extra mile with this project. And secondarily, when we end the project and you're happy and you have achieved the result that you're looking for, something special might happen. 1 month from now, 6 months from now, maybe even 2 years from now, you might run into a friend who is looking for something similar, and you will refer that friend to me. so we can all keep growing and create more win-win situations. Does that sound fair? And 99% of the time I receive a yes. And this basically is telling them that you have your best, it's in your best interest to actually go ahead and do a stellar work. And this is very important for them because they want to work with team members, consultants, and individuals who are motivated to bring out their A game for them. Now, another common objection is that they would say something around the lines of, oh, okay, this all sounds good, but I need to do some research. Leave me some paperwork or document, or maybe can you send me over a portfolio or something, or a website link, whatever. And basically this is them saying that, they haven't cleared all of the doubts in their mind. So you might want to answer with something around these lines, which is, client name, of course. So Mark, for example. Mark, let's bottom line this. What would it take for you and I to do business today? What do you need from me in order for us to move forward? This is more on the aggressive side, but not too much. So basically, I'm telling him that I understood that there is some concerns, and I want to tackle this ASAP so that there isn't any hidden things on the table, if you wish. And basically, when we say something around these lines, we're going to receive a answer which is going to give us intel as to what the original initial objection is all about. Now, another common one, which you will hear all the time, is, could you send me a proposal? And guys, sometimes this is a genuine concern, like something that they want, especially in bigger companies. I notice they are more formal when it comes to these kind of things. They want a CB, they want a proposal. So sometimes it's genuine, but other times it's just they're uncomfortable about something that you discussed in the call, and they want to seem interested, but they're not really interested in your services. So the last thing that you want to do is spend hours on a proposal, send it over, they won't reply for days or even weeks, and then the project never happens. So you want to avoid all that time wasting. So what I usually do when I hear this objection, or just this sentence really, is I always want to double check if this is a genuine concern, or if they have something that's bothering them in what we just discussed. So I would say something around the lines of, okay, that's totally fine, but exactly what would you like to see from the proposal? And then they're going to give you an answer which is going to essentially tell you what it is that it's bothering them, if you wish. And I would say something around the lines of, okay, let's pretend that they send you the proposal and you like what you see. What's going to happen next? And this is going to basically elaborate upon this concept and really make sure that like by the two answers that they're going to give me, it's going to be pretty clear if they're interested or if there is something bothering them. It's just something that's almost inevitable. So definitely keep this in mind if you receive a question of this sort. Now, on a final note, don't stress too much about objections. I see so many videos and influencers and gurus that always see objections as something which is negative, that you have to aggressively almost like attack the other person in order to overcome it. But I don't really believe in that. I think that one of the most important things is to keep in mind that objections are essentially things which are a natural part of the sales process, and definitely something that you want to have. Otherwise, again, you would have that issue of not running into the objection and just possibly losing the sale. So again, practice makes perfect. You can learn all of the lines and you can just say it to yourself as much as you can, but unless you hop on several sales calls, all these concepts are not going to be internalized. So my best suggestion is go on the sales calls, get those sales goals up, and then practice, practice, and practice. These methods works. They're 100% going to work. Just keep going at it.